All right, let's continue our work on evaluating double integrals over general regions. This time, we're going to think about what happens when our region on the xy plane is enclosed between two functions of y. So we're going to call this x simple, where the region is enclosed between two simple functions of x with respect to y. And so here's a general diagram of what's going on. Suppose that our region is bounded on the left and right by functions of y, g of y, and h of y, and above and below by constants c and d. So this is the region that we're trying to integrate. And the way that we're going to do this, since the simple functions are left and right, we're going to integrate first along x. So we hold y constant and integrate along the x direction. Hold y constant, integrate along the x direction throughout our region, starting at the function that's to our left, g of y, and ending at h of y. And once we have done that, then we're going to let y vary from c to d. So the plan's going to be, first we're going to integrate along the x direction. That's called x simple, because we're enclosing our region between two simple functions defined in terms of y. So our first integral will be the integral from g of y to h of y of our function, our surface. And first we start with respect to x. This is called x simple. And then we follow by integrating with respect to y from c to d. All right, so let's look at an example where we may need to consider which direction to take first, whether we're going to go y simple or x simple. So suppose we want to find the volume of a solid below the surface f of xy. There's a little typo there. Not typo, but written error. F of xy equals 2 plus 1 over y. And above the region R in the xy plane, where R is bounded by the following lines. So the first thing that I recommend that everybody does at the very beginning is sketch your region R on the xy plane. So let's do that. Here's our xy plane. And we have a bunch of lines to sketch. The first one's y equals x, so that cuts right through diagonally. So there's the line y equals x. Then we have the line y equals 8 minus x. So that's a line that intersects the y-axis at 8, has a slope of -1, and has an intercept on the x-axis also of 8. So it's going to be something like this. Maybe not that far. And y equals 1. So this line is y equals 8 minus x. And y equals 1 is a horizontal line at 1. So it looks like this region is a triangle. There we go. Now, we're going to consider in blue what would happen if we integrated along the y direction first. So we're going to say, is y simple an option here? A good option. And this would mean that I would be integrating vertically. I would hold x constant first, integrate upward. Hold x constant, integrate upward. Integrate upward. And you can see that in this region, we're between the line y equals 1 and the line y equals x. Okay, but something happens here. Things change. If we look at the second part and we continue to integrate vertically, which would be y simple, then we still have two simple functions that we're between, but they're different. And when we've changed functions, that means we're going to have to set up more than one double integral. So let's decide not to do it that way and see if doing it x simple or integrating with respect to x first might be a better choice. So I'm going to erase that and try to erase what I've got going on here so that we can think about what happens when we integrate with respect to x first, holding y constant. So when we do that, that means I hold a y constant and we go this way. And that's going to get us between the line y equals 8 minus x and the line y equals x. And it looks like we're always between the same two functions. So it's a good choice to integrate with respect to x first. And that's called x simple. Now we're going to have to do a little bit of work, because if we're integrating with respect to x first, we have to change our functions so that they're functions of y. Y equals x is already that, right? We can write it as x equals y. We can let's rewrite our function y equals 8 minus x. So this function is going to be x equals 8 minus y. And our y, we're going to have to figure out where do these lines intersect, because we see that y is going to start at 1. But when we do our second integral, we have to integrate vertically, and we want to know, well, where will this value be? So let's find that. To find that, we're going to find the point of intersection of y equals x, our two lines, y equals x and y equals 8 minus x. We could find it in terms of x too. That might be better because it'll just give us the y. So since we've already rewritten our functions, we're going to find the point of intersection between x equals 8 minus y and x equals y. We'll set these equal to each other and see when this occurs. So that's 2y equals 8, and this happens when y is equal to 4. So I think we're in good shape to set up our integrals. First with respect to x, then with respect to y. So let's do that. So our internal integral is going to be with respect to x, and we're going left to right. So that means we're going to start at x equals y. So from y, we're going this way. So x equals y, from y to 8 minus y. And then our function was 2 plus 1 over y. And our first integral is with respect to x. Our second integral will be with respect to y. This variable has to match that differential, the variable of that differential. And so this will be integral from 1 to 4. 4 is the point of intersection that we found between our two lines. Okay, so these must match. All right, so we are ready to integrate. This hopefully is getting a little bit easier for you. The internal integral, we're going to be holding y constant. And so that's going to give us, and we integrate with respect to x, so that's going to give us a 2x. And 1 over y is a constant, so 1 over y times x, so x over y. This will be integrated from y to 8 minus y, so that the function that we have once we apply the fundamental theorem of calculus is a function of y that we can integrate with respect to y. And so that's going to give us the integral from 1 to 4. And we've got 2 times 8 minus y, which is 16 minus 2y. And then plus 8 minus y over y, right? Because these are in terms of x, or x equals y and x equals 8 minus y. And then minus what we get when we put in a y. So this will be minus 2y minus 1. And all of this is with respect to y. All right, let's simplify this a bit more so that we can combine like terms here and clean it up a little so we can easily use the power rule. So in terms of constants, we have a 16 minus, let me write this out. We have a 16 minus 1 so far, which is 15, minus 2y. We can split this term into 8 over y, so plus 8 over y minus y over y, because they're both over the same denominator, so minus 1. And then another minus 2y. I didn't really do very much combining here. Let's combine like terms again. And we're going to have 15 minus 1 is 14, minus 2y and a negative 2y, that's minus 4y, plus 8 over y dy. Okay, there we go. Now we can integrate with respect to y. And that's going to give us 14y minus 4y squared over 2, so minus 2y squared. And this is a logarithmic function, 8 natural log absolute value of y, although we won't need the absolute value because we're dealing with positive y's, from 1 to 4. When we put 4 in, 4 times 14 is 56. Then minus 16 times 2 is 32, plus 8 natural log of 4. Don't need the absolute value because 4 is already positive. And then minus what we get when we put in a 1, so minus 14 plus 2 minus 8 natural log of 1, and that's 0. All right, so we've got, my constant is going to be 12 plus 8 natural log of 4, and there is our answer. So, in order to choose your order of integration, well, make sure that you sketch the region and you try to identify the direction that will keep you always between the same two functions.